Hey everyone, welcome back with Bino Mac. Today we are continuing our playthrough of Plants vs. Zombies Replanted on the Nintendo Switch, of course. And, as we can see, we're on the latter half of the roof stages, and the roof stages are the last of adventure mode. So when we're done with this episode here, we're actually gonna, start some new adventures, in the Plants vs. Zombies Replanted world. So, we might do some survival. We might do some puzzle, we might do some mini games. I haven't quite decided. We might even do the new stuff because that's the exciting things to me right now. But that said, we're continuing going on our journey here. As you can see, we got the garlic, and the garlic is actually just a very interesting plant in my opinion. It allows you, once the zombies bite it, it goes into another lane. I think the idea is that you're supposed to use it so that way you can send them down a particularly dangerous or maybe an empty lane. I don't know what the heck you would use it for realistically, but what I do is I just have one in all across like a column, and because of that, I think just a lot of hilarity ensues, and they're cheap. They recharge very fast, and it's a really great time, really great. So we'll see. I can't wait to show you guys how this stuff works. It's kind of like an alternative to walnuts in my opinion, and you'll see exactly what I mean once I start doing it. I don't know how often people do this, and it's kind of even to a degree counterintuitive, but in some ways, as you might see. But yeah, I mean, I just love it, and you're gonna love the look on the zombies' faces if you haven't seen it. It's just hilarious. But first we're gonna have to, build up our defenses to make sure, things are all juicy and whatnot before we, start to have fun here, of course. Alright, get our little cabbage patch going on around here, you know what I mean? Alright, just 2 more, and then we can kind of get our kernel cobs going here. Kernel cobs, you can't just usually put them all by themselves, It's really useful because they're the only plant I think that can literally stop a zombie completely, just frozen. Not just, standing in place like a walnut, but actually frozen because with his butter that he's got going on. But, the issue is I think its regular non-butter attacks are extremely weak compared to a regular, cabbage pole or a pea shooter or something like that. So he's kind of like an accessory, you'll find, more than like, something you want to start your lawn off with. Especially like when it comes to the frickin' cone heads, man. They just cannot take the cone heads themselves. But as you can see, now we've got it all set up, and it's gonna be glorious. I can't wait. I can't wait. Alright, really, I can't wait. Hurry up, dude. Although I'm probably going to end up, freaking killing this guy before it can really take effect. Oh, I love that face. Oh, there we go again. Yeah, see, because like the cabbages miss him after a point, and obviously it gets him eventually, but I don't know. It's just such a back and forth. I love it. You'll definitely see me use them a lot more on the survival levels too, once we get into those, because I'll have more stuff just to kind of spend on nonsense after a while. And yeah, it is gonna be crazy. The only issue is and they last quite a bit because they only get one bite off at a time. But yeah, if you have like a load, like the loads that we're gonna see in survival, they actually start to go pretty quickly. They last like about, I'd say, an average of like 2 minutes. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We just got to keep going. But that said, folks, I think it's about time we get to our question of the day. If I could be serious for 1 freaking minute, can we go to the question of the day, eh? And the question of today is going to be, oh, look at these jerks. I forgot about these guys. Freaking catapult zombies. They just shoot basketballs at us from the back. And, yeah, it is very annoying. They take out my sunflowers, and, yeah, they're really irritating. Especially, once you get multiple ones going at once. I don't really know what I was thinking putting that starfish there, but is what it is. I probably should have just put them behind the garlic, but I don't know. Help us out a little bit, but like I said, if I could be serious for one gosh darn minute. Question of the day. What do you guys think is the worst horror movie? And the thing is, with horror, I mean, there's a lot of bad movies out there, but I feel like horror is like, at least to me, anyway, is kind of like consistently the worst. Because even bad action movies, a lot of the time, the action's good. You know, you kind of go there for what you... That's what you go there for, is the action. So it might be a really stupid or lame story where, like, the guy's not really believable or the effects are bad. But it's... A lot of times, those become so bad, it's good. Whereas horror movies, I mean, they're meant to scare you, right? And if they don't do that, they don't do their job, then, you know, I feel as though... You know, they're more susceptible to just being outright bad rather than being so bad they're good, you know what I mean? Then again, I guess The Room may be considered like a horror movie if you really, depending on the context. And that's like the best, so bad it's good movie I've ever seen. I've seen too many shots of that dude's butt to feel comfortable with it. They don't tell you that too, either. They don't tell you that in any of the reviews. But, let me think, Jeez, I mean, the Resident Evil movies are meant to be horror films. They don't really do it for a lot of people. I kind of had to stop watching them. I think another one... I think when you get to a lot of the slasher films, like, they start out really good, and then, as, you know, all of them, like Friday the 13th... And, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, you know, as you kind of get further into the series, it's almost like they have to keep... They can't let certain series just get to, like, a trilogy or something and, like, end it, or, like, a single movie. They have to keep going because of the popularity of them, and then eventually they just keep going until you can't really do anything good with them, and honestly, like, they get well past the point of being scary, you know what I mean? Hellraiser, I think, is another, good example of that. And then eventually, I mean, usually they're able to, after, you know, like, decades, they can have, you know, a reboot of some kind, and usually they establish, a pretty good rapport with, like, a new reboot type thing, but... I don't know, man. I mean, I just feel like, a lot of the later entries in those franchises are usually pretty bad. Boy... The thing is usually with horror, I'm not really a biggest horror fan. And when it comes to those, I try to avoid them because honestly, I don't want to watch bad movies. Something I also didn't mention that I really liked back in the day, you know, with best horror movies was, you know, the Saw franchises and the Final Destination franchises. And, you know, obviously, once again, I haven't really seen the later Final Destination movies. I think the second one was my favorite, quite honestly, but, I feel as though, you know, the Saw movies kind of got really bad after a while, and they were kind of some of the, especially the first one. The second one was really great, but the first one I feel like was just, it kind of introduced, like, you know, it changed the game, in my opinion, you know what I mean? I love that zombie animation, but, yeah, it just changed the game for me, and... You know, it's sad to kind of see these movies, you know, flop and, you know, go down the rabbit hole where they just feel like they have to keep making it because, you know, corporate greed, you know, tells them to keep making more and more and more and more and more and more, and they don't stop till they stop, until they start losing money. But, boy, what is the outright worst? You know what, I'll just say, we'll say Resident Evil is probably the worst horror movie I've ever seen. Yeah, I'd have to go with Resident Evil personally. Not the first film. If I had to pick one of them, it would have to be whatever one was, I think it was Afterlife. I feel like Afterlife, yeah, I think it was, because that was the one that had, like, Wesker die at the end and stuff like that. And they also had, like, that guy who, like, I think, Yeah, it was definitely Afterlife, I'm not gonna lie. That came out in 2010, it was an hour 40 minutes. I'm looking up right now. And, I remember not thinking it was too bad at the time, but I was also young. I was like 10 years old. So, you know, obviously, you kind of like things when you're younger and find it more acceptable because you kind of don't really have too many acquired tastes, I feel like, as a kid. At least not when it comes to shows, right? It's just kind of mindless stuff and you're kind of absorbing it, and it kind of what's the word here, you know, back to what I was saying, you know, it kind of produces, when you're young, it kind of determines, you know, what you watch, determines kind of what you would do end up liking later on, and obviously sometimes we kind of change our opinions on that, you know, what we liked as kids and stuff like that. Let's see here, what do we got going? We're gonna have to sacrifice some back spots. I think that should be good enough, because, you know, it should just be to protect against the, you know, those freaking catapult jerks. And, you know, they shouldn't get past, you know, the sun, you know, the sunflower and stuff like that. So, with these guys in place, it should be good enough to where I can, you know, take care of those guys before they do any real damage. Because I don't even think, like, the umbrella leaves take any damage from the basketballs. They just blatantly bounce them off. But, I mean, they're a pretty good example of, like, you know, you get the weakness to these enemies after you've already fought them. Because they're also, you know... Oh, boy! Oh, my lord! That's not good. Let's see. We're gonna have to up that defense again. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Yeah, they're breaking through their defenses here. But we gotta be careful, because, oh, hey, here's another advantage with the ladder zombie. They don't put no ladders on these guys. But, I think it also just as, like, a direct... I don't even know what the heck he was eating. I don't even know if he was actually getting that cabbage pulp, but... I think it's, like, a direct consequence to it. Like, the plants... I mean, the zombies that would otherwise not... be you know, like, affected, like, I'm not really explaining this well. Like, I think it's the same thing with snorkel zombies, right? Like, usually they want you to try and have to use a specific type of plant on them, and they don't really, I think it might also just because, like, they don't really have a big animation for it, you know? Like, obviously, as you can tell, the ladder zombie just goes back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. He's free, right? He moves too fast. Alright, so he can actually eat those. I thought it was just kind of glitching out, but... just kind of the thing with the ladder zombie, you know, I think they just kind of move back and forth, and I don't know if it's because they didn't want to create an animation, or it's because, okay, here's a potential weakness for that we don't want the players to explore in that particular way. So, I don't know. Let's see here. We might see with this guy here. Oh, no, yep, see, he doesn't really have an animation for it, so he actually moves faster than he is right now. And, you know, the ladder zombie is another thing. I talked about catapults, how they, you know, secret uses and stuff like that. You don't really think about it because the ladder zombies are always in the roof levels for the most part. And, you'll find out that, like, yeah, the catapults are especially better for the ladder zombies, just kind of like how the fume shrooms would be, because they can go through the ladders. Catapult zombies, same thing with screen door zombies. They're good against the screen door zombies because they go over their head and, you know, don't attack that particular, alright, let's see if this works. Alright, sweet. But they don't attack that particular, you know, they go above their head and they don't attack their defensive items that's in front of them that will, you know, negate the damage. So if it's a pea shooter and a ladder zombie's coming at them, just like a screen door zombie, they have the kind of same ability where they have to damage the ladder out before they end up, you know, being able to hit them with the pea shooters and stuff like that. But obviously both ones, screen door, ladder zombies, of course, both of them can also be affected by, you know, the magnets, as we can see here. Alright, I was kind of worried that, we wouldn't be able to take those ladders from them because of the distance. Of course, we have this goofus right here trying to damage them. Nice try. I'm just keeping it real. I didn't even see that bungee zombie come down, but that's great. But yeah, as you can see, I think we should be all protected here. I don't know if they're going to go after those Galax, but, you know, they could be easily replaceable. Yeah, man, there's a lot of bungee zombies, too. I'm glad I actually brought these guys with me, because I was thinking, you know, I could probably take, you know, just replace the sunflowers and stuff like that, and take out the, you know, the capital zombies, but, I did not realize how many bungee zombies there would be here, you know. So I'm glad I got those. Bungee zombies are kind of freaky too, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, look at how fast that ladder zombie's moving too, it's ridiculous. Oh, oh boy. Oh no! My goodness. I'm not gonna play by your rules, game. Yeah, I think that ladder zombie's gonna also get it past him again. Alright, I think he's good because we got him with the butter. Oh boy, those ones on the ends, those Galax, are not doing too good. I gotta keep that in mind. Yeah, this would be a pretty rough level without those umbrella leaves, so I'm glad I got those going down there. Sometimes I like to say, no, I think my strategy will work better without these kind of things, but umbrella leaf I rarely ever use, you know. This is probably around the only time you're ever going to see me use them. They're just too gimmicky, right, you know. Kind of just sit there otherwise. Oh, there goes one of my good freaking Galax too. Get that coin. Alright, we gotta start replacing these garlics. It's a good thing there's not a Wario zombie, otherwise my strategy would be foiled. Apparently Wario's actually just legitimately ripped, and somehow his teeth are so bad, like filled with such bad bacteria that they clean themselves, and so they're pearly and white and strong. Something like that, like it's Wario World lore, it's really crazy. Man, the issue is that these guys were kind of like stuck on the same thing. But either way, we got them. They kind of are just throwing us some like pretty weird, like, you know, plants we're not going to usually use at this point, you know. Like I like the marigold. Uh-oh. Already. As you can tell by that big bastard there. Big bastard there we got, you know. That is the Gargantuar. And that is like the ultimate zombie. That's like the last zombie type we're going to see introduced into this game. And yeah, he is not to be messed with. And he's got a little guy on his back there. You're going to see all about the Gargantuar, right? And with him, you know, I was talking about, you know, previously, right? Like he's got a lot of health. This dude can legitimately take 2 one-hit kill, you know, enemy items, plants. That's what I'm trying to say, plants. Good lord, it's in the goddamn title. He can legitimately take a squash and still keep on going, you know. And once they get to half health, they'll throw those little guys on their backs at you, and they're imps. And they're not as weak as you would think, right? You know, I don't think they're as strong as regular zombies, but that dude, he tosses them ahead, you know, far ahead by the time they usually come in, unless if you get them, like, right at the beginning. And, yeah, it definitely takes, like, you know, probably around, like, I'd honestly say the same amount, maybe one less hit than a regular zombie to kill them in this. And, you know, they can really, you know, do some damage. And if he throws them in a lane that does not have like a lawnmower, or in this case a roof cleaner, and you know, you don't have, like, he throws them because he's all the way far in, you know, kiss your run goodbye, man, because there ain't nothing that's gonna be stopping that imp. And they're kind of fast too, honestly. They move pretty fast. But even then, like I mentioned, the football zombie, right? The Giga football zombie. Like I said that with a G. And the The thing with him is like he was exclusive to the trial version, like I mentioned on the night levels. You know, he's got the black outfit and stuff like that, and you know, he actually has the health of a Gargantuar in that. So he can also take, you know, 2 instant death items, you know, like Squash or you know, the Cherry Bomb, whatever. And, yeah, I mean, he's even worse than the Gargantuar, believe it or not, simply because he's running, so he's fast. And on top of that, you know, he doesn't really have, like, he doesn't really come across like that right away. And on top of that, there's not a lot that you can really do in that trial version because of the limited number of plants that are there. So there is no magnet shroom. You can't remove his helmet. But it's crazy stuff, man. I tell you, crazy stuff. So I'm kind of worried. I think he might actually show up already. I hope that's not the case. I need more time to prepare, as you can tell. But, I don't know. I don't know if he, like, shows up on... It doesn't look like he's in this first wave, but I think he's going to show up, like, halfway through before the final one. And we'll probably have to deal with a punk. Oh, no, there he is. There he is, yeah. Oh, no, I put... Oh, God, I put him in the wrong lane. Alright. I don't want to place this down, because what he doesn't eat. As you can tell, he just destroys plants in front of him. Yeah, and see, that imp is not anyone to scoff at, man. He's still there. Yeah, man. Ain't nobody to mess with. Alright, this is actually going pretty... Ooh, okay, alright, you know, we got him. But man, as you've seen, he tanked that chili bomb. And the cool thing about the chili bomb's the best thing to use on, you know, I usually use Squash, then chili pepper, right? Because then when you use the chili pepper on the imp, it clears off, you know, the whole lane, so you don't really have to worry about losing your plants like I did earlier. So that's kind of the strat. You want to, as soon as you see him, you want to kind of just get him right out of there, because he's not someone you want to have sticking around. Which, I mean, usually I'm able to get him out pretty quickly, but like as you've seen, I put him in the wrong goddamn lane, the Squash, so. But maybe I'll be able to demonstrate it here. It also is tough on the roof levels because obviously you had to plant a pot first and then hit him, so. Pain in the butt. Plus it doesn't help if like you have to deal with him and you have other guys going through that lane as well. But you might see it too if he has another one in this lane. It's kind of an interesting, cool detail that they have different things that they hit with. So he had like a telephone pole a second ago. He might have something different. Let's see. Oh no, looks like it's just a telephone pole again. Alright, I think I got the right lane this time. And then, oh, bam. They're gone. But I think he only shows up this level. I'm not even sure if he shows up next level, honestly. I think he does. But, he doesn't show up often, so he's not somebody you usually have to worry about, to be honest. I don't know, how the heck did these guys get here like this? Because, you know, there's 4 people in that lane. But another strong item we just got here, you know. Oh boy, he is here. It was along with all the other guys too. And the Bucketheads. Man, they ain't playing around here. This is kind of like one of the first real... I mean, not the first one. It's kind of like the real last battle. You know, and we have a really good final battle coming up. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But, yeah, we're going to need that rake. But, that said, as far as like normal level type structure goes, this is going to be the real deal here. You know, we're going to have these imps. They're scary. We got the Gargantuars. The basketball zombie, you know, catapult, whatever the heck it is. And then, of course, we got the ladder guy. We can't forget about him. We're definitely going to need that magnet shroom. And, As you can see, we're gonna see if we, it costs a lot, man. Those melon bolts. We're gonna try and get one in each lane. And the melon bolts, I don't know, kind of think of like the cabbage bolts as a regular pea shooter, then the kernel bolts as like the frozen pea, melon bolts as like the repeater, right? And the melon bolts are very, very strong. They're like one of the most powerful plants in the entire game. That said, they're not miracle workers, right? You know, I think it even takes like 2 or 3 melons to defeat like an imp, believe it or not. That's just how strong the imps are. But once we got like enough of them on it, you know, if we can get one in each, you know, across the column, man, ooh, baby, we'll be unstoppable. Those basketball zombies are probably the ones I'm really worried most about, if I'm being honest. Because I don't want them to, you know, take on, you know, take too many guys out. Let's see. So just to be safe, we're actually even going to put these cabbage bolts in the back as usual, so that way they're really going to have to work to get those melon bolts out if we start putting them out. I'd like to have the kernel bolt here, but you know, just lack of seed slots, man. But it looks like we got ourselves some 3 waves here, so it's going to be a very action-packed level, you know. It's not going to be an easy victory here, you know. We're going to have to really work for it. Oh boy. Of course, they're going down both lanes. I don't have anything on, you know. Crash it. Alright. The thing is, I want these melon bolts, but I gotta worry about cone heads. I gotta worry about, you know, if any of those guys, you know, ladder zombies are gonna come down, so I'm gonna have to worry about magnets and stuff like that. So I might have to just put down... Oh, alright. I'm just not really sure where I should put it. Just throwing caution to the wind here. Oh, no! We should have put it... we should have waited, because, you know, that freaking, oh, man, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get him. That cone head, man, he's an issue. Alright, maybe things will be okay. But we're definitely putting one down with that other, we'll see how this goes. I don't mind if he takes out... Ooh, alright, we took him out. Oh boy, alright, this one might actually be a real problem, though. I mean, he did... Oh, wow, yeah. Like I said, folks, massive damage. One of those things pretty much took almost all his health down, right? Because it wasn't that he just knocked his arm down. He knocked his arm down so that he had 1 hit left with a regular cabbage bolt, man. I tell you what. Alright, we're definitely gonna need it. The thing with the catapult zombies, too, that really irritate me is usually people walk in front of them, so they're not always the main targets. Oh, no. Gosh, dang it. I didn't want to get the umbrella leaf. I didn't have the slots. Alright. We're gonna have to replace these, because if we don't, then we won't have the sun, you know, regeneration that we need for these melon bolts, man. Unfortunate, but it's the truth. But we only need 2 more. 2 more, please. Then we could probably just fill it. I don't know if we're gonna get more melon bolts, but we'll probably fill it up with just, you know, quick cabbage bolt spots, just to kind of get it in there. Let's see how they do against this bucket head. I'm curious. Alright, so that guy's not a problem. Let's see how strong he is. Oof. Boy. Yeah, see, look at how much damage he's doing that bucket head, man. Even more than the repeaters. Yeah, look at that, man. Arm instantly off. That is such awesome damage, dude. That's knocking futs. Even with this, I think... Yeah, look at that, man. Yeah, I'm not even worried at this point. Now we should probably work on getting those freaking magnet shrooms installed, though, just because, Oh, no! Oh, I don't have time to grab. Ah, dude, that was 300! 300 down the drain! Yeah, I swear those freaking bungee zombies have to have like the same amount of health as like a cone head or something, because they do not go down, man. Alright, come on, guys. What are you doing? Take him out. Take him out. Alright, jeez. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, boy. Whoa. Oh, right. The freaking magnet shroom. For a second there, like, I was blanking out for a second there. I thought, like, man, did that single kernel pull just take that helmet off of him? Alright, so this is about to get crazy, I feel like. Because we're at the second wave. Not really worried about the Jack in the Box, guys. I wish they put some damn socks on, though. That's kind of disgusting to me. Alright, this isn't too bad so far, I'm not gonna lie. We're still gonna try and get as many melon pulls as we can. Hopefully they can take care of the ladder zombies before they even come close to, you know, any of my plants, though. That's kind of the hope here I'm going with. Let's see if they can take out the buckethead before he even gets too close to the magnet shroom. Looking like a no. Ah, so close. I could have swore back in the day those Jack in the Box zombies, like, they would lose an arm like a regular zombie rather than just like having their heads just pop off. But I guess I must be misremembering. Alright, yeah, this guy's definitely getting it. Let's see here. Is 3 enough to keep him from killing my damn sunflowers? Yes. Yes, it is. Alright. Of course, they still have the damage level, so can't really do anything about that. But man, oh man, that is such a boon. I tell you what. That works for me, brother. Let's put it that way. Oh, yeah, see, I was talking about those alternate, you know, like things that they hold. Now they got the crossing sign. Is that a ostrich crossing, though? That's interesting. Boy, yeah, look at that. We got him pretty quick there. I think in the second half of his health, you know, the stages of his health, should have put a, man, if I had time, I would have put a freaking cherry bomb, but there's just so much going on, I couldn't deal with it. There we go. Come on, man. Yeah, see? You almost took out my freaking melon pull. That's how strong those imps are, man. I can tell you, there's going to be a game later on where we get to play as the zombies, and the imps take 2 hits. Literally. 2 hits. They ain't doing that when you're facing them, I can tell you what. Well, it looks like we have survived Le Gauntlet. What's this? Another note. Unusually neat. Homeowner, you have failed to submit to our rightful claim. Be advised that unless you comply, we will be forced to take extreme action. Please remit your home and brains to us forthwith. Sincerely, Edgar, Dr. Zomboss. Uh-oh, he's here. Better get ready. It's gonna be one heck of a fight. Listen though, I know what his weakness is. You have to hit him in the pancreas. No, that was a different guy. You have to kick him in the You have to press up down down left right. Wait, I remember. It's... Ugh, those guys are freaky up front close. Alright, our satellite's still up. That's good. And as you can see, this is the only time we're going to ever actually have a nighttime roof level. Just for the final one. I could have swore he used to have like a different letter. It was something where he was like... Could have swore it used to be something like, hey, I'm sorry, but we failed to, you know, do our night portion of the roof level or something like that. It was like a meta kind of level, but I can't remember. Maybe it's just misremembering or something like that, but I don't think they would rewrite the note for him, so yeah, I guess that's just on me. Maybe it's just my memory, you know, it's just something I wanted to see as a kid or something stupid like that. But this is actually, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of conveyor belt levels because of how easy they are. this one is actually really awesome, you know. I wish we kind of instead, like, this is just a legit boss, right? And that meter is, there's no waves, really. The meter is just all him, right? That's his health. We haven't really done anything to him yet. We don't have any plans, but, you know, it's just it's a really, really fun battle, and it kind of makes me wish that they had more boss battles, right? That, like, all the end of these were boss battles. Not the same guy, you know, Dr. Edgar Zomboss or whatever, who apparently, like, even that, like, he's like a zombie. I don't think he was ever changed into one. Like, you can tell by looking at his weird brain, he is definitely not like a normal. He's not the average zombie. Let's put it that way. And yeah, he's apparently the one who has created all the zombies in his lab and stuff like that, you know, and that's why he's kind of just dropping them as he pleases. That's just kind of the intricate lore you get with this game, you know. But yeah, I mean, if you don't know what you're doing against him, he can definitely, you know, he has some crazy maneuvers. Let's put it that way. You're about to see. Ooh, wow! Jeez, I did not expect him here. Let's see what we can do. We'll just do that. That way, gets enough time to defeat him. See, the imp is still not dead. I thought he was actually going to unthaw. But yeah, as you can tell here, oh boy. Yeah, so he'll shoot the fireballs, which he used against, you know, these ice shrooms. You need to save them for those specifically. And then you need to save the chili peppers, and you have to put them down in those specific... I don't know about the ice shrooms, but I know for the chili peppers you have to put them down in that specific lane to get rid of the ice balls. But yeah, of course he has crazy moves like that with the bungee zombies. He's got, you know, those balls, which if you're not prepared, they're gonna charge straight down through and demolish the entire lane. And you can of course use this to get some more time and hits on them and stuff like that. Massive damage. The thing is that you would think too with the Replanted they would, oh boy, oh no, 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 whew, that was so close. Still actually got my planter, my pot. Alright, let's see if this works. What? That guy, he wasn't frozen? Yeah, as you can see, man, multiple people hitting him. And these bungee zombies are still taking all my plants, man. It's crazy how much health did they give these jerks. That is the real issue that I have with the bungee zombies. It's just how much health they have. To where even melon pults can't take care of these clowns. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy! Ooh! That was a close one. But yeah, I wish we had, like, actual nighttime, like I'm not saying we need to have... Oh, shit. Yeah, that's also just, like, the crazy move that he does. It just instantly annihilates an entire portion of your plants, right? I don't even know why they put this guy here, right? Because what is that screen door gonna do, right? Oh boy, the Zombonis though, those are kind of crazy. Man, those guys are still not dead? No, 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 please! Oh, come on. That's a load of nonsense, man. Ah, man, and I gotta rebuild these. I gotta put the melon guy here somewhere, yeah. We'll get rid of this. Oh, yeah, we got to, just in case, just in case. Who destroyed that thing's the newspaper? We're gonna see if we can hit him again with it. Ooh, we did. It does work. Alright, let's see. Oh boy. We got him. We gotta get something going on here. Gah! Yeah, why do some of them not even freeze in place? Yeah, that's ridiculous. Oh, he almost got him with the butter. Alright, we're gonna need a melon there. Oh, look at him, he's messed up. I think we got him. I think we got him. Alright. But yeah, I wish, like I was trying to say for like 5 times this episode, I wish we did had some night levels, just as some bonus levels or something. But that said, folks, you know, we got the sunflower trophy, the silver one. There's a gold one that we have to get by being all survival minigames and puzzles. So we're gonna be working on those in the future. We're gonna show the credits theme, which is a pretty good banger. I'm not gonna lie, so stay tuned for that if you'd like. That said, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out next week's episode on Miscellaneous Monday, but above all else, though, please remember to have a nice day.
Sunflower. 1, 2, 3. There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. We don't want zombies on our lawn. I know your type, tall, dark, and dead. You wanna bite all the petals off of my head and then eat the brains of the one who planted me here. I'm just a sunflower, but see me power an entire infantry. You like the taste of brains, we don't like zombies.
I used to play football.
Football,
Protons protect my head.
on his head,
I have a screen door shield.
door shield.
We are the undead.
There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. We don't want zombies on our lawn. Maybe it's time to reevaluate. I know you have a lot of food on your plate. Brains are quite rich in cholesterol. You're dead, so it doesn't matter. Instead, we'll use the solar power to make a lawn defense at any hour.
I like a tricycle.
Sickle
There's powder on my
on
head.
his head,
I'm gonna eat your brain.
put on the snow.
We are the undead.